And welcome here, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pictou County Wellness Center for this matchup between the Bombers and the Novas. Puck drop for the first period is about to be underway. This game, Novas coming in second place, and Bombers coming into this game in third. Should be a good matchup here for this Saturday afternoon. And here we go. Novas win it back off the draw. McDonald has it. He'll cut back and try and feed it through into slot. Bowden's there, and he'll throw it in to the Novas end. Trying to play this one out. McDonald in there battling. It's up to the line. A shot off for McDaniel. Stick aside there. Back into the corner. McDonald moving this one out as it flips to neutral. McDaniel throwing it back in to the Novas end. McCullen to McDonald. Sampson couldn't get that one for long as Ty Bowden pushes through. Now they'll battle for it on the boards. Isaac back to McDonald. He'll cut back in his own net, trying to get Swain off of him. As it's flipped up into the neutral there, and back down to the Bombers' end. Connor Grace taking possession. He'll fire that up, a quick one to Anderson. Drop pass, a shot on from Little. Blocker save there, and Swain tried to get the rebound. Little, a shot on. We'll go the other way. Trying to push pass. Romano, backhand shot, rebound, still bouncing around. It'll get hit to the side. Played up to the line. McDonald, another shot on, blocked in front by Swain. Down around the back of the net. Romano couldn't get a stick on it. It's up for Anderson. Hit off that one there. They'll battle for it. Cormier getting his body in there. He'll throw it down in. Cohen Little playing it back up. And Anderson will make a check there and flip it back down into the Novas end. And the Bombers will head off for a change here. Trying to catch the Novas while they're tired. Pass thrown back into the Nova zone. McDonald moving it up. Intercepted. Now McIntosh the other way. He'll play it over to McDonald. A shot on. Rebound still alive, and it's cleared out of the danger zone there. Grace to Whittemore. Shot on. Rebound still popping around. Picked up by McDonald. He'll try and take it out. Up to the line for Whittemore again, who throws it back on. Blocked in front. It's flipped off the glass. Back down to Whittemore. Over. Cutting back. He'll play it over to Grace. Grace moving it. McIntosh trying to feed McDonald. That's intercepted. Turned over, Reed into the slot. McIntosh hit off that one. Now the other way, Sampson trying to push through. Whittemore shuts him down. It's tipped in there to the Bombers' end. Whittemore back for it. Giving it off for Grace. Grace the other way, he'll move it to Bowden. Bowden crossing red, bringing this one through. He'll dump it into the corner. Hit off that one. Now the Novas the other way. Sampson with some speed, he'll walk in. And that's poked away there by Matitol. Bowden in the neutral. Plays it back. Getting it to Matitol, who moves it to Reed, who tips it in. The Bombers will get another change here. Nova's in possession in their own zone. So they try and break this one out. Flipped off the boards. And dumped in there onto Sean Gillis, who will cover this one up and get our first whistle of the game. Landon Wilson in between the pipes for the Novas tonight. And Sean Gillis for the Bombers. As that one's played over, Nova's racing forward. Isaac back there. Hit off that one. He's taken down. Novus will regain possession. Curling in. A shot on from Dykers. Goes high. McDonald at the line, keeping it in. But Anderson pushes it by. Anderson, Frazier working their way up. A shot on. And that one goes wide. Bombers getting it back. It's Cohen Little. He'll dump it in. Brother Elijah Little currently out for the Bombers with a wrist injury. As that one's played back in. Dumped in again there by McDaniel, who's holding that line. This one goes into the corner. Now Nova's trying to push it through past Grace. They'll dump it in to the Bombers' end. McDaniel back for it. McDaniel, stretch pass to Little, who couldn't get a full handle on it. Now the Nova is trying to turn it the other way. Grace trying to get by. McDonald goes down there, no call on this play. It's back. Purcell racing. He'll get there, moving it around. Try to poke at it. Swain takes possession and keeps it in. McDonald trying to get there. But Purcell will take it out. Whittemore hitting that off for Cormier. McIntosh couldn't get a stick on it. That'll be icing against the Bombers. Draw here in the Bombers' zone. One back by the Bombers. Cormier moving that around to Whittemore. So try and play this one out to the neutral. Swain dumping it in and McIntosh chasing. A shot on, covered up there. Draw here in the Nova zone. One back to Grace. Grace a shot on. Tip to the side there. So they try and play this one around. McDonald racing forward on the boards. Kept in by Connor Grace. McDonald playing that one out. Nova's the other way. A shot on. And a blocker save there. Rebounds out. A shot. And that one goes high over the empty net. What a chance for the Novas. Calling another 1-T there. And McIntosh controls the rebound. Gives it to Miller. Miller a shot on. And that goes wide. Played up, a nice stretch pass to McIsaac. He'll walk in. And a save there from Sean Gillis. Bowden handing that one back for Ross. Ross a shot on, blocked in front there by Gillis, excuse me. And a big hit there on Bowden. We're going to get a penalty against the Novas on this play. It's Rain McDonald heading to the box there. Will set up in the Nova zone on a Bombers power play. A chance to get on the board about midway through this first period. Played back for Cormier in his own zone. So he moves it. McIntosh trying to move that one up. Almost turns it over there. Risky pass. Still has it. McIntosh walking in. He'll play it back. Ross at the line. Moves it over to Anderson, a shot on, and that one goes high and wide. It's played out back to Cormier. Cormier moving it over to Anderson. Anderson taking his time, looking for an option. Gets it to Ross at the line, who keeps that just in. He'll play it in deep for McIntosh, who moves it to Miller. Lane Miller, someone to look out here on the power play. His last home game had a hat trick. As he's heating up. Grace picking it up in his zone. He'll circle around. 55 seconds left on the Bombers' man advantage. Grace playing that over, and McDonald trying to get a piece of it. Played into the slot for Little. He'll throw it on. Cleared away there. Battling for it in the corner. Sampson taking that one out for the Novas, and he'll throw it down the length of the ice with just 30 seconds left on the Bombers' power play. Grace will get it, and he'll see if they can set something up in the dying seconds here of the man advantage. Grace getting it back from McDonald, moves it over. Whittemore, shot on. Rebounds alive. McDonald back up to Grace at the line. To McDonald. That one flipped over his stick. Now the battle forward in the corner. And now we are back to 5-on-5. Bowden to McDonald. A shot on. Pad save there. Bowden battling forward in the corner. Has Gillis putting on pressure. Bowden throwing up to the line for Whittemore. He'll cut in, losing his footing there. Still getting it in the corner. Austin moving that around. Nova's trying to break out here as the Bombers get some fresh legs. Bowden's still out there. He'll throw it in and head off for a change there. Frazier chasing after that one. Novas throwing that up. Cormier there trying to get this one. Roman a shot. And a save there from Gillis. Keeps this thing at a standstill. Draw here in the Bombers zone. They'll win it back. Cormier moving around to Anderson, who couldn't quite get there. That'll be a Bombers icing. Taking this draw. He'll push it through, trying to get in. And a good chance there. McDonald almost tapping that one in. Ross back with it. Tries to move it to Anderson. And another Bombers icing here. Draw here in the Bombers zone. 5:03 left in play of the first period. Bombers trying to get this one. It's tied up. At the dot, it goes up. McCullen at the line. He'll throw on. That one's wide as it gets tipped in front. Cormier moving this one around. Gives it to Frazier. Frazier feeding Ross with it, who moves it over into the open ice. Couldn't get there in time. He's back for it, and he'll throw it in. Around the back of the Nova's net. Good poke chance there from Anderson as it's thrown in. McDonald tipping that one into the Bombers zone. Crawford trying to get back for it. Moved up to Anderson for the Bombers. To Jackson McDonald. McDonald and Swain, 2-on-1. McDonald, Swain. And that one is broken up. Couldn't get the pass to go there. Now the Nova's going the other way. Robert, a nice move there. He'll walk in, a shot. And a save from Sean Gillis. They'll pile up in the net. Picking that one up. McIntosh using the glass to get it through to the neutral. Dumped back in by the Novas. McDaniel trying to get that up to McIntosh. McDonald get his body in there. McIntosh playing it back. McDaniel to Grace. Move that up to Swain, who tries to tip it in. He's taken down there. McDonald to Gillis. Gillis moving that one. Now the Nova's trying to set something up. It's Sampson. Or McIsaac, excuse me. That one gets poked back. Gillis moving that over. Nova's working in. And a shot on for McIsaac blocked by Cormier. Cormier to McIntosh. McIntosh giving it to Little, bounces over his stick. And McDonald dumps it right back into the Bomber zone. Flies around the boards, Little with it. Little trying to pick up some speed and get a handle on it. As he skates around the back of the net, he's hit off there. Flipped up, a shot on, blocker save. Peoples getting up to the line as that one's played down in. Little battle for it. Gillis trying to get in there. Little moves it around. Peoples up to the line. Anderson grabs it. Now Anderson to Reed. Reed walking through, trying to give it back to Anderson. Little will grab it to Anderson, and he's taken down there on a big hit. That one's dumped in. So Nova's chase after Peoples and Gillis once again. And a risky play there as Gillis came out to try and play that one for the Bombers. Anderson the other way, trying to get it to Miller. That one's turned over. And flipped down the length of the ice there. Grace racing for it. Grace in his own end. He'll fire that one up to Anderson. Anderson dumping that one in to the Nova zone, and he'll head off for a change. Miller trying to lay the body there. As that one's moved up to Grace, a shot on. And a glove save there from Wilson. Pretty even in the shots department thus far. Shots 9-8 in the Bombers' favor. Draw one back with the Bombers. Bowden getting up to the line. McDaniel over. As they couldn't get a good possession on that one. Novas will grab it. Got to move this one out. McDonald loses that one in his feet. He'll dump it in. A big hit there from Bowden. McDaniel loses his stick behind the net there, excuse me. So now he'll have to battle. Using the feed as McDonald plays it through. Shot on. And a shoulder save there. Rebound. Trying to poke it around. Bowden picks it up. He'll play it off the glass. Ross racing for it. Gillis will get back first. They'll battle for it. Ross lost sight of it. So now Gillis moves it. Played up. Romer walking in. A nice move there as he tries to get it over. Shot on. And a good chance there for the Novas. Ross firing that one around. Cormier getting on it. Nova's doing a good job of shutting down the Bombers' defense when trying to break out here. Austin back in his own end for it. Well, just under 20 seconds left to go here in this first frame. McIsaac hit off that one. Frazier couldn't get that one back. And Matatal. And a few bodies go down there and a big cross check. Shot on, rebound, still bouncing around. And a big save there from Sean Gillis. After 15 minutes, score stays scoreless. And the shot's 9-12, this time in the Nova's favor. Players will take a short break here, talk things over with the bench, and we'll be back in just a moment for the second period. And welcome back here, folks. Second period about to be underway here. Still scoreless in this game after 15 minutes of play. We'll head into the 20-minute second period. see if anything will get decided here. McDaniel getting that one back off the draw for the Bombers. Grace flipping that high and in on net. Moving around, McIntosh, a shot on and a pad save there. Grace, another shot blocked in front, a good play from Romerd. Now he'll go the other way with it. Flipping that one over, Crawford. Drop pass there, Romerd, and that play's broken up by Miller. It's up to the line. Isaac a shot on, that one goes wide. McDonald, with the shot on. Flips by, Miller racing for it. Trying to get over to McIntosh, that flips up high. McIntosh getting it a shot. And a save there from Wilson. After a good push from Miller. And a lucky flipped pass over to McIntosh. That almost gives them the lead here. Draw in the Nova zone. Little taking this one. One back, Cormier shot and a blocker save there from Wilson. Another shot from Whittemore, rebound pops out. Cormier playing that one in. Anderson flipping it in low. Austin will take possession. Taken back, Little shot. And it's covered up there by Wilson. Draw here again in the Nova zone. Shots 15-12 now in the Bombers' favor. Back and forth there. McDonald will get it off the draw here for the Novas as they try and break it out. Swain trying to play it in, racing for it. Little couldn't get there in time. Now McIsaac the other way. Trying to get around Cormier. Cormier keeps him to the boards. As Little's in there to help as well. Played up to the line. McDonald a shot on. Taken there by Cormier. Cormier moving that to Swain. Swain shut down there as Cormier dumps it around the boards. Anderson couldn't keep that in. It's back for Whittemore to Cormier. Cormier dumping that one in. Wilson out to play it. That one's flipped down the length of the ice there. That'll be Nova's icing. Draw one back by the Novas. McDonald moving that around. Sampson getting there on the boards. Taking his time with it. He'll cut. Sampson breaking this one out for the Novas. Looking for an option. He'll dump it in. Chase after it. He has McIsaac with him. Sampson behind the net. Hit off that one. Grace will take possession. Moving it to Reed. Reed trying to flip it past, but it's dumped in there by McIsaac. On to Gillis, who will let that one play. Grace moving it to Ross. Ross trying to pick up some speed, loses that one, and he tries to lay the body on Duggan there. In the corner, moving it up. Reed pushing through. He'll throw it in. McDonald for the Novas moving it. Peebles getting it back from the line there. McDonald giving him some trouble. Grace in the corner with it. He'll move it around. McIntosh handing it off for McDonald, who gets it up. Frazier trying to reach. McDonald there keeps him to the side. McDaniel trying to move that one over, turned over. Played back up to the line, McDonald. He'll throw it in deep. Up, a shot on. Blocked in front there by McDaniel, redeems himself. Now McDaniel going the other way. Poked off there. McDonald. That one's dumped in by the Novas. Cormier trying to get it past. Novas take possession. Cormier takes it right back. Now he'll go the other way with McIntosh and Frazier. Dumped into the corner, a little too far for McIntosh. The Nova's trying to flip it out. McIntosh keeping it in. Nova's with it now. Romer dumping that one in. Matatal moving it to Cormier. Cormier cutting back in his own end. That one's moved around. Matatal trying to get theirs. They have some pressure. And a weird bounce off the glass. Throws it back down for Frazier of the Novas. Miller trying to put the pressure on him. Crawford, fans on the pass there. Anderson will take it. He'll cut back up to the line. Whittemore back to Anderson. Anderson walking in. And low, and they try and get it to Grace for the tic-tac-toe play. Passes a little off. Whittemore back for it in their own zone. Moving it to Grace. Grace. Little taking off that one. Miller pushing through. Miller with it. In the corner. He'll play it back in. Little. Looking for an option. Gets it up to the line for Grace. A shot on. And a blocker save there from Wilson. Gillis. Kept in by Little. Cohen Little loses that one. Looking for an option here. Tries to get it back up to the line. It's turned over. Doikers the other way. Has Romerd with him. Here's a shot on. Poked away there by Gillis. Now up. Swain. Swain trying to work through. He'll dump it. Around the back of the net. McDonald moving it to Gillis, who couldn't get his stick on it. McIsaac trying to push through. Matatal turns over. Nova's going the other way. Shot on. Rebound. Controlled there. Up to the line, McDonald. He'll cut back in. A shot on. Tips in front. And a shot from Peoples goes wide there. Move back around for McIsaac in the corner. Nova's trying to set something up. McIsaac trying to get up to the line, and it's flipped past there by Anderson. McMullen, racing back for it. McMullen looking for an option as he breaks this one out. He'll hand it back to McDonald. McDonald crossing red. He dumps that one in. And we might be getting another penalty here. Or no, icing call. I thought it was a too many men penalty. But it'll be icing against the Novas, so we'll head back down there with 13:29 left in play. One back by the Novas. McDonald moving that. Sampson trying to get by, poked away by Grace, who plays that one back in. McDonald back in his own zone for it. Cuts to get Bowden off his tail. Novas flipping it out. McIsaac trying to get past McDaniel. McIsaac in, a shot. Rebound flies out. Austin trying to get there. Controlled and taken out by Ross. Dunked back in there as Ross lays the body. Played in front and a close chance. Bowden in the corner with it. Trying to move this one out. Reed. Taken off his stick by Sampson. Sampson into the corner with some speed. Around the back of the net looking for an option. He'll hand it off for McDonald. A shot. And that one, what a save there from Gillis. I didn't even see where he picked that up. Hit off a couple bodies, went two different directions. And Gillis still tracked it. Keeping this game 0-0. And the shot 16-16. A really even game here as we head into the halfway point of the second. Draw one back. Grace in the corner. Trying to flip it up. Romert's there battling for it. But Frazier will get it and go the other way. Frazier pushing past. Walking in. And he's taken down there. McDonald trying to get the rebound. McIntosh getting it to McDonald. To the line. McDaniel back to McDonald. He'll play it down in low. Frazier with a shot on. And the rebound slips out the other side into the corner. Gillis getting it. Gillis flipping that one up. And McDaniel's taken down there. No call on this play. And it's flipped over to McDonald on the boards. He'll play it back around. Romer to the line. McDonald, a shot on. Tipped in front there. Goes wide, played back in front. Rebound controlled, and it's taken out of the zone there. No icing on this play. Novas get back for it in their own zone. As they move that around, McDonald into the corner. Moving that one, Gillis. Playing it up, McIntosh tried to get there. Whittemore pokes it out of possession, and Gillis will cover it up. Left to go here. Drawing the Bombers zone as they win it back. Cormier trying to get there. He'll move it up. Little trying to push by. It's flipped back. Whittemore. Whittemore. Playing that one through. Sampson grabs it in the neutral. Pushing for it. Romer by. Flipped over. Austin in the corner. Plays around Whittemore with the big hit there. Little using the boards to get it up to the line. Throwing back in around. Sampson trying to get there. So he plays into the slot and a big save there off the shot of Austin. McIsaac. Cormier in the corner. Hit off that one. Little. Holding Sampson into the boards there as they try and get possession. Austin in as well. Still battling for it. Still battling for it. And it's out. Cormier grabbing it. Whittemore moving it back to Cormier. He'll throw it in, Miller tipping that one into the Novas end. Moved around to McDonald. Tries to get this one out. Swain's there to keep it in. Swain giving that to Anderson. Anderson back up to the line for McDaniel. McDaniel moving that over. A shot on from Grace. Tipped in front. And the rebound heads behind the net. Anderson picking it up. Nova's trying to get this one out. Anderson takes the fall there. And the Nova's the other way. Tipped off Sampson's stick. In the corner now. Ross trying to get there. His stick goes flying. And it's back. Swain trying to work his way through. And Duggan takes that off. And the Novas will move the other way. Shot on. Covered up by Sean Gillis. Draw here in the Bombers zone. Pushed through by the Novas. They try and get a shot off. Swain shuts them down. And it's flipped out to the neutral. Bowden getting it. Bowden pushing through. Tips that one into the corner. Flipped up the glass. McDaniel throwing that down, and it'll be hand pass. Draw here just outside the Nova zone. I'll have to redo this draw here. Push through. Frazier getting it right off the draw and dumping it in. Played around Miller, trying to keep that one in. Hit down there by Romer. Flip pass, McDonald racing forward in his own zone. Moving it, McDonald. Nova's trying to break out here. Flipped up, Romer. Smoked off that one by Miller. Cormier. Giving that back, Matadol. Fires that one in. McDonald. Try to tip it by. Miller's there. He'll try and take it in. Flipping it back up on the boards. That one's turnover. Nova's taking it out and dumped right back in there by Grace. Going the other way now. Nova's cutting back. It's McDonald. He'll flip it up to Crawford. Crawford crossing red. He'll dump it in. Whittemore firing that one down for Little. Little looking for an option, cuts back. Frazier a shot on. Wilson didn't see it there immediately, but still got the blocker on it. Little in the corner. Getting off the pressure. He'll play it in the slot. Anderson couldn't get the shot off. Little picking it up. He'll circle around. He throws that one in. Little with, I believe, 54 points on the season thus far. Leading points getter for the Bombers as Frazier dumps that one back into the Nova's end. Duggan flipping that one. Grace is back forward. He'll play it over. Whittemore moving that up the boards. Dump back in there. Anderson getting it to Little. Anderson back. As McIsaac's taken down there up to the line. Whittemore. Shot on. Blocker save from Wilson. McDonald trying to flip this one out. Whittemore keeping it in at the line. Moves that one around. Swain racing for it. Swain trying to flip that one back into the corner. Their pass is taken away. And a big hit there as Whittemore dumps it right back in. Wilson playing it around. Frazier, excuse me, getting that through. Flipped out. Nova's racing forward. It's Austin trying to get it, but Cormier keeps possession and throws it right back in. Bombers hemming the Novas in here with 5:40 left to go. As the Novas get it down, that'll be icing. Draw here in the Nova zone. Shots 19-18 in the Bombers' favor. Still very even game here. Cormier at the board, throwing that one to Miller into the slot. McIntosh couldn't get the full shot off there, as that one's played out off the netting. Draw here. Back in the Nova zone. Push through, and that one flips in. McIntosh strikes first for the Bombers. This game is 1-0. Right off the draw there, they push it through. McIntosh gets the slightest piece of that puck, just tapping it in on that open side. That line has been producing a lot of offense since being put together. Miller with a hat trick last home game. And McDonald, with a couple as well. McIntosh getting one this time. Nova's win it back off the draw. McIsaac pushing it through. It's back down in deep for McDaniel. Round to Grace. McDaniel grabbing it. Bowden feeding it up to Reed. Reed walking in, taken off that one by Sampson. Played around. Ross turned it over in the slot, a shot on. Rebound's alive. Bowden couldn't get a shot on it. McDaniel turning that one over. Now the Nova's working in. Sampson, shot on. Rebound alive in front. And Grace controls it back out to the line. Gillis there. Moves to McDonald, and that one slips out. As they fire it back in to the Bombers' end. 4:20 left to go here. So the Bombers try and get a stretch pass to go through there. Novas take it. They'll flip it right back in on to Gillis. Gillis will play that one. And the Novas get there first. As Ross is hit off that one, Romerd pushing through. Around the back of the net. Up to the line, a shot on. Blocked in front by Frazier. McDonald. To McDonald, a shot on. Goes wide there. Romerd picking up the rebound. McDonald. Throwing over a shot. Rebound's alive. Trying to get it. And Gillis dives at that one. Covering it up there. Draw here in the Bomber zone. 3:43 left in play of the second period. Shots 21-21. But the Bombers lead 1-0. Novas getting it back. Sampson trying to get it out to the line. McDonald's there, dumps it back in. Gillis behind his net, giving it to Cormier, who moves it up to Cohen Little. Little working his way through, plays it back for Swain, who tries to get a shot off. He's taken down. As that one's flipped around. Peoples the other way, trying to flip it by. Into the Bomber zone now. Whittemore. In the corner, trying to get up for Anderson. McDonald at the line, grabs it. He'll throw it in deep. Austin taken down there, couldn't get his stick on it. Now back the other way. Little and Anderson working their way in. Little, a shot. Rebound's alive. Little trying to poke it in front. And now we're going to get a penalty here against the Bombers with 2:40 left to go in the second period. It'll be a tripping call. And Cohen Little heads to the box here on a tripping. And the Novas, a power play opportunity late in the second. Chance to tie things up. It's a pretty standstill game. Novas win it back. Up to the line. McDonald battling forward. Plays it in for Crawford. Crawford. McMullen playing that one over. Romerd in deep. Play back for Romerd. And a pass blocked there. McDonald trying to get it out for the Bombers. Romerd down in behind John Gillis there. It's up to the line. McMullen. Throwing it back. Romerd couldn't get that pass on his stick. Back up to Romerd on the boards. He'll play it in deep. To Romerd. A shot on. Blocked in front by McDaniel. Rebound, a shot. And Crawford throws that one high. Bombers trying to get it out here, and they will. Back down to the Nova's end. With 1:50 left to go, just a minute left on the Nova's man advantage. Trying to push it through. Crawford getting it by. He'll dump that one in onto Gillis, who lets it play. Cormier firing that one around. He'll clear it once again here with 45 seconds left on that power play. McDonald moving that around. Nova's taking the time in their zone, trying to set it up here. McDonald moving that one, trying to work their way in. Austin working in as well. Sampson handing it back to McDonald. McDonald over. Frazier at the line. Throws it back in. Sampson to Frazier. Back to Sampson. He'll take his time with it. Back for Frazier. Shot on there, rebound. Stays in front, it's cleared out. Miller trying to feed to Cormier, and that one's flipped down. Penalty killed there. We're back to 5-on-5 play. Little fresh out of the box. And we're going to get another penalty here.
Come on.
It'll be against Anderson. He'll go for slashing. So unless anything transpires here within the last 24 seconds, Novas will start the third period with the almighty power play as they try and tie things up. Romer taking this draw against Little. Little gets back with his foot there as they push it through. Nova's in possession. McDonald hitting that one back. McMullen feeding it through. Sampson a shot. Covered up there by Gillis. Draw here in the Bombers' end. 11 seconds to go. Grace gets it back, and he'll throw it down the length of the ice, and that will probably do it here for the second period. So after 2 frames here, Bombers lead by 1. Shots tied at 22. But the Novas head into the third period with 1:36 on the man advantage. Both teams will head back to their locker rooms, take a breather, and talk game plan for the third, and we'll be back in just a moment. This is U15 Majors on High Button Sports. And welcome back here, folks. Third period between the Bombers and the Novas about to be underway. Bombers took a late second period lead thanks to Clayton McIntosh getting a rebound right in front of the net and tapping that one in. But now an Anderson penalty has resulted in a power play for the Novas to start out the third period as they try and get this game back into their hands, or at least at a standstill with a tie. Shots 22-22. An extremely even back and forth matchup here as we wait for the refs to get out onto the ice.
Congratulations to Stella Murray on winning the 50-50
And the refs walk out here and we'll be ready to start the game. And the draw here for the third period about to be underway, as the refs talk things over. Here we go. Puck is drop, Bombers win it back quick there. Cormier throwing it down. And they'll blow the whistle there. I believe they forgot that the Bombers were on a penalty kill. So they'll reset at center ice. Dropping back exactly the same way to Cormier. And he'll go down the length of the ice there for another clear. Novas in possession. Now going the other way. McMullen circling around the back of his net. Has Little on who goes for the dive and trying to poke that one off his stick. Novas the other way. Over to Crawford. Crawford getting some pressure there from Grace. Tries to keep possession. It's up to the line. McDonald playing it over. McMullen looking for an option. He'll play it in. McDonald couldn't get the shot off there. Bounce it around on his tape. Up to the line. McMullen keeps it in. He moves that one over. McIsaac couldn't get that one in deep, kept in at the line by McMullen as Cormier tried to clear. McDonald shot on, blocked in front, and the rebound controlled, kept in. McDonald playing it into the slot as Crawford gets it back. McMullen playing it over McIsaac in deep. Up to the line. McMullen. 20 seconds left to go here. Shot on. That one goes wide. 15 seconds left on the Novas power play, and the Bombers will clear it. Now going the other way. McDonald flipping it across red into the Bomber zone. Gillis out of the net to feed Cormier to Miller, who tips it up, and that'll be Bombers icing. Draw here in the Bombers' end. Novas trying to tie things up early. As Whittemore gets it off the draw and chucks it down the ice. Bombers icing. Draw here, one back by the Bombers. Anderson Try to flip that one out. It'll bounce over the stick of McIsaac, who throws it right back in.
No hurry, Blair. No hurry, bud.
Gillis turning that one over. Sampson trying to flip by. That one will sneak out. Dumped right back in there. Gillis out to settle the puck down. Gives it to Cormier. Cormier firing that up. Reed feeding McDonald. McDonald working himself in a shot. Covered up there by Wilson. Played up McIsaac. Flipping that one off the boards. McDaniel keeps it in. Dumping that one behind the Nova's net. McIntosh flipping that one back for Grace. To McDaniel. McDaniel getting it off the boards. Grace trying to get there, and he will. With McDonald dumping that one in. Austin moving it. Played on the boards, flipped high as they try and get it to Sampson. Thrown away by Grace there. Austin dumping that one right back in. McDaniel. Flying by Peoples. He'll walk in now. McDaniel plays it in front, and Bowden couldn't quite get there. Passes a little off as it went into the feet of Gillis. McDonald skating this one around. Feeds Gillis with it. Gillis getting it out. Ross will regain possession for the Bombers, however. Ross working his way in along the boards. He'll cut wide, tries to play it in front. Swain trying to get there. He's hit off that one. Little battle for it on the boards. As this one's moved around. Novas trying to break it out here. Ross trying to lay the body, as well as Swain. Bowden playing it in for Ross. As he flips it in, a couple of the Bombers will try and head off for a change here. Novas trying to break out. Gillis getting that one out to the neutral. Swain's there, and he'll grab it. Swain to Cormier. Cormier shot on. Blocker save from Wilson. Gillis the other way. Dumping that one in. Matatal. In his own zone. Throws it around the boards. Frazier and Cormier trying to get there as it goes up. McMullen dumping that one back into the Bombers' end. Around the back of the net, Duggan battling. Duggan gets it. Throws it up to the line, McMullen, excuse me. McDonald, a shot on. Tipped in front there, goes around the back of the net. Duggan trying to get it. Matatal moving it around. McMullen. Shot on, goes wide. And Little, grabs it. Little has Reed and Anderson with him, or Frazier and Anderson. But that one's broken up there off of a wonky pass. McMullen the other way. Broken up there by Grace to Little. Little pushing through. He'll cut back with it and throw it in behind the Nova's net there. Anderson along the boards. Held on that one. As McIsaac tries to get it out here. McMullen moving around. Taken by McIsaac. McIsaac playing in front of his net. And that one's flipped back. Bombers take possession. Grace moving that one. Anderson flying across blue with a shot on, goes wide. Novas to McMullen. A nice saucer pass there. And McMullen will dump it into the Bombers' end. Getting some fresh legs out there as well. Whittemore to McDonald. Jackson McDonald trying to get it to McIntosh. McIntosh hit into the boards there. McDonald firing that one down, and Whittemore will grab it.
Move it!
Whittemore playing it off the boards, trying to get it to Miller. Miller in there battling for it. It's played back by Romerd. Frazier dumping that in on net for the Novas. Whittemore picking it up off of Gillis. He'll cut around, getting Romerd off his tail as he moves it to McIntosh, who tries to feed Jackson McDonald with it. McIntosh pushing it up. He has the lone goal in this game. Romerd gets it to McDonald. McDonald along the boards there. Crawford, a shot on. Gloved up by Gillis. Draw here in the Bombers' end. Matatel getting it as he tries to move it up. Thrown back in by McMullen on net. As the Novas will have to clear for the offside. Cormier working his way up into the corner. Loses that one. McDonald moves it around. Bowden picking it up, however. Trying to play it into the slot there. Pass blocked. Austin grabbing it. Cormier has it back in the neutral. He'll throw it right back into the Nova's end. Sampson. Trying to move this one around. Sampson with some speed. One of the faster players here on the Novas. Throws it in on. That one goes wide. Nova's still in possession. McMullen at the line. Playing that one over. Shot on for McDonald. Goes just high there. Dumped into the corner. Austin. Hit off that one. Cormier grabbing the puck. Moves it. Reed firing that one through. Bowden couldn't get his stick on it, so he'll turn back for a change. Dumped in there. Cormier handing it back for Grace. Grace in his own zone. He'll skate it through. Taking it himself, a shot on, blocked. McDonald. Taken away by Anderson with a shot on. Rebounds alive for Little. Up to the line. Grace a shot. Blocked in front by McDonald. Anderson playing it back up to the Grace. Grace off the glass in deep for going Little, who's hit off that one. That one's fired back down. Grace feeding Little again with it. Little dumping that one in around Wilson. Little now into the corner with it. Loses it in the rest skates there. Gets it up to the line. Grace shot on. Blocked by Robert. And now the Nova's the other way. Robert trying to catch up. Grace getting back. 2-on-2. Robert couldn't get there. A nice pass there. Taken down. Puck still bouncing around. Anderson poking it by. What an opportunity for the Novas. And now Anderson and Swain the other way. Anderson, a big pad save there from Wilson. And it's back for Cormier and Whittemore. On that Nova's chance there. Grace racing back for it and getting just the slightest piece of that puck before it got over to Romert. Little shot on. Gloved up there by Wilson. Draw here. In the Nova's end. In the corner, McMullen, excuse me. Moves that one around. Flipped up, Sampson. That one gets poked by Cormier. McIntosh handing it back for McDonald. Jackson McDonald working his way in. He'll throw it into the corner.
Okay.
McIsaac on the boards. As the Novas push it by. Whittemore there, throwing that one through. Back down for the Novas defense. McDonald. McMullen. Back to McDonald in their own zone. So that one's fired through. McIsaac got the tip on it, so it goes down into the Bombers' end. No icing. Whittemore cutting in his zone. Hit off that one. Gets it over to Cormier first. McMullen trying to stretch that one through. McIsaac working his way in along the boards. He's hit off that one. Still getting it into the corner. Miller trying to get it out, and that one will fly by McDonald and down into the Nova zone for a Bombers icing. Draw here in the Bombers' end. Shots 27-26 in the Bombers' favor. Still 1-0 with 8:52 left in play. What a close game this has been. Novas win it back here as they dump it in. Dyker's trying to get that one around. He'll get it again. McDonald playing the body there. Grace picking it up. He'll move it to McIntosh. McIntosh getting it to McDonald, who dumps it in. Down in behind the net, Nova's taking possession as they look for an option. McDonald working his way through, avoiding a couple hits there. That'll be offside here against the Novas. They'll have to clear. Grace moving it. McIntosh trying to tip it in there as it's dumped right back in. Racing for it. Peoples playing it back. McDonald couldn't get a full possession on it. Hands back. Peoples. McMullen racing in there, pinching. As that one's fired up to the line. McDonald. McMullen plays it over, and Crawford couldn't get that on his stick. Crawford. McDonald. Back to Crawford. And that one's intercepted there by Ross, who's still trying to battle at it. It's back for McDaniel.
Over.
McDaniel working through to the neutral. He'll cross red and dump it in. McMullen moving that up. It's to McDonald. McDonald crossing blue, getting it over, and Romer couldn't get a shot off there. He'll play it back in front, and the Bombers take possession. Ross getting it out, and he's taken down. We're not going to get a call on that play. So they go in the corner battling for it. Romer losing some footing there. As it's flipped out to the neutral. Swain throwing it down. Bowden trying to get there first in the corner. Bowden loses that one. Sampson getting it. Now Nova's the other way. 6:40 left to go here. Sampson flipping that one through. Romer couldn't get a shot off as it's moved away there by Gillis. They dump that one back in. McIsaac behind Gillis, lays it in front, and the pass is blocked by Whittemore. Cormier throwing that one off the boards. Anderson flipping it across red. Nova's still in possession here. And Sampson's hit off that one. Anderson the other way. Working it into the corner. He'll dump it inbound, down behind Wilson. Little playing it in front. A shot on from Anderson. Blocked in front there. McDonald not feeling great after that one. Grace dumping it in. And that'll be called down there for high stick. Draw here in the Nova zone. Battle for it off the dot. It's played into the corner. McDonald getting it for the Novas. Taken there. They'll battle for it in the boards. Back up to the line. Grace playing that one over. McDaniel shot on. That one goes wide. Grace racing to keep it in. He will. Throwing that one in. Or Anderson, excuse me. Plays it over. A shot on from Little, and he scores! Cohen Little, late into the third period, makes it 2-0. A big goal there. And a beautiful pass from Anderson to feed Little. To the right of Wilson there. Wasn't fully sure if it got through, but it slipped right through the 5-hole and rolled across the goal line. Little making it 2-0 Bombers. Novas win it back off the draw. That one's played over. McMullen flipping that one through. Turned over there. McIntosh trying to push it by. Taken back by the Novas. McDonald flipping that one into the Bombers' end. Played around Cormier. McIntosh flipping that one by. And that'll be Bombers icing.
Bombers goal, scoring number 11, Nova's. Assistant number 12 is Spencer Anderson. Number 6, Connor Green. Number goal, 5-7.
Draw here back into the Bombers zone with exactly 5 minutes left. Shots 28-27 in the Bombers' favor. 2-0 after a 1T goal there from Cohen Little. Battle for it in the corner. A couple bodies go down there. Flipped in front and goes off the skate of Matitol. McDonald along the boards, getting it up to the line. McMullen throwing that one back around. Nova's keeping possession here. McDonald putting on some pressure, however, and he'll take it. McDonald bringing that one out to the neutral. He'll cross red and dump it in as that one bounces around. McMullen moving that. Austin trying to pass it through, blocked there. Nova still in possession. McMullen moves that one up to Austin. Austin shut down there. Around the boards, McMullen. And that one's fired down. Nova's icing. .358 left to go here. Draw one back by the Novas in their own end. It's played around. Austin doesn't know where that puck is, and he's hit off it there. Novas still get it dumped into the Bombers' end. Grace gets there first for the Bombers. They'll play it down for Bowden. Bowden along the boards. Throwing off that one. Sampson flipping it through. Getting it over to Austin. Austin cutting around McDaniel there. Still with it. Flips it in deep. Peoples. Back up to the line. Frazier. Shot on. That gets tipped up high. Nova still in possession as they try and cut in here. Sampson, a backhand shot. And a pad save there from Gillis. Frazier dumping that one into the corner. Sampson trying to get there. Grace will get there first, but he's pushed off that one. Played over. And now Reed will take possession and get it out of his zone. People's dumping it right back in. Flip back, McDonald. Moving that one, Bowden intercepts there. And that'll be offside. Draw here, just outside the Nova zone. Bombers win it back. Frazier trying to get through, it's turned over. Romer the other way, walking in, a shot on, that one goes wide. Cormier picking it up in the corner. And it's back, McMullen. Throwing that one in on Sean Gillis. He'll let it play there for Whittemore. Whittemore almost losing that one, throws it around. McDonald picking it up for the Novas. Tied up in the ref there. And they'll battle for it in the corner. McDonald getting it up to McMullen at the line. McMullen back to McDonald, back to McMullen. He plays it over to the open ice for Crawford, who's hit off that one. Little playing that one off the glass. McMullen keeping it in. McDonald down behind the net, racing for it. Eamon Whittemore will go at it. In front, and a chance there. Sampson fans on that shot. Up to the line, played back down in deep. Crawford. Novas do have an empty net here. Tipped back in front. McMullen, shot on. Tipped wide. McDonald here. Throwing that one around. McDonald in beneath. Crawford to McMullen to McDonald. Shot on. And that's tipped wide. Cormier trying to play this one to Anderson, who tries to flip it down, and he will. That'll be a Bombers icing. 1:02 left to go here as the Novas are down by 2. They do lead in shots though, 31-29 after making a push here, and they'll call a timeout. We'll let them talk things over, and we'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back here, folks. After a short timeout, we will play the final minute in this game. Novas with the empty net, 6 on 5, as they try and come back from a 2-goal deficit here. Sean Gillis has been locked down so far between the pipes. Can they finally get one past him here, and then hopefully get another one past him? Draw here in the Bombers zone. The refs talking things over here. On the Bombers bench, I'm not sure what. They'll take McDonald back off and throw Frazier out. Ty Bowden had to come off as well. I'm not sure what's happening there. Here we go, the face-off. Novas get it back quick. Shot on, and that one goes just wide there. McMullen at the line. He'll throw it in on the boards. Sampson playing it in deep. Back up to the line, McMullen. He'll cut around the line. A shot on, blocked in front by Little. And he'll throw it down the length of the ice. That one's just off. Bombers icing. 42 seconds left here. Bombers win it back this time. Cormier trying to throw it around, and they'll get it by Anderson, and Frazier pushing through, and Anderson throws it in the empty net, making it 3-0 Bombers with 34 seconds left in play. One back by the Bombers. Grace moving that one through to Reed. Down behind the Novas net. 20 seconds left in play here. People's moving it around. Novas breaking this one out. Trying to get it past McDaniel with just 5 seconds left to go here.
Bombers goal, score number 12, Spencer Anderson.
And it's held up on the boards, and that'll be the game. Bombers take the win, 3-0. And Sean Gillis with the shutout. A great game here. Third place Bombers versus second place Novas. Bombers take the 3-0 shutout win thanks to Sean Gillis. Goal scorers, McIntosh, Little, and Anderson. Anderson getting that Last empty netter won. Bombers take the win 3-0. Thank you for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon, folks. And thank you for choosing High Button Sports for your U15 matchups. Go Canada. Tomorrow, I think at 9:10 a.m. Rise and shine. Let's get the